Hello and welcome to a video with me, Raindale. Today is the third and last series of video I'm doing on King Mont and his vision cards. So let's go ahead. Today we're talking about the vision card. Everybody's getting it for free. So the question isn't should you get it, but rather should you build it and is it worth the investment? So we'll compare it with existing options to see if there are other options currently existing or in the near future that might be better investments. So first things first, this new vision card is fire exclusive. It will increase HP and resistance to defense debuff for your entire team. We'll take a look at the detailed abilities later, but on screen are comparable cards that you might want to put on your King Mont, because I think he'll be the main person you're using this card for if you're going for it. So looking at the stats first, well, lots of HP. Really, aside from Golem, there are very few cards with that much HP, so that's good. 116 attack is enough. King Mont is not an attacker, and you're probably not going to be wanting to run this card on Luartha, for example. But any fire bruiser will not mind having a little bit less attack if in exchange they get a lot of HP and then some defense on top. And then the defense is always a really good thing because it stacks completely with whatever gear, whatever Esper, whatever other bonuses you have. So it's a little bit more physical damage mitigation on top of everything else. So far, just looking at the stats, it's a pretty good card. But again, since it's fire exclusive, let's talk about King Mont here, if you're putting this card on King Mont, he will benefit from a lot of effects. But you could also put Golem on him, for example, and then all your team would have 25% extra HP rather than only your fire units, which is likely for a lot of players to be only King Mont. Same goes for the other cards on screen. They're all going to provide some bonuses to your entire team instead of a single character, with the exception of the Phoenix card, which is another vision card that's fire exclusive that will be released in the near future. And the party ability on this one is more dexterity, which is not the end of the world, but also 20% magic resistance. So depending on what you want, giving extra HP or extra magic resistance to your fire characters, well, really, which one is better will depend on the matchup, so hard to tell at that point. Okay, let's take a look at the abilities. Again, they are only for fire units, but the individual ability, I think, is really good if you're going for King Mont and you want to make him as tanky as possible, and for that purpose, this card will be really hard to beat. The whole reason why I'm not that sold on it is because you're giving up the opportunity to use a card that's going to strengthen your other teammates, and King Mont doesn't need that much help to survive. But if you do give him the card, he gets some more AoE resistance. That means that for the AoE resistance build that I published in yesterday's video, if you have that card on him, and then Death Machine or Winter Holiday Party on another party member, you can go all the way to 70% AoE resistance on King Mont while his TMR's buff is in action. That's just insane. He's never going down, basically. So that's a really strong one. 10% attack, not the end of the world. It's not a huge amount. And then King Mont specifically will get some more HP and some more defense penetration on top. Now, we don't know what those numbers are, but looking at previous cards, I'm expecting somewhere around 10 to 20% defense penetration, and then 10 to 15% HP probably. And if he gets those, well, again, it will be the best card for King Mont to make him tankier, but it won't change the fact that he's not going to be your primary attacker, and that you're giving up the option of having a card that buffs your other teammates. That's going to remain the same. And then the party ability. All your fire characters get 25% more HP. Then they are less likely to receive defense debuffs. I do not know what 20 def debuff does exactly. And then if you get it to level 99, you get max damage up 2,500 for fire units. And that leads me to another case where this card will be the best for you. If you run a fire raid team, it's going to be great. And with King Mont, we have a really powerful fire raid team with just King Mont and Rain. One of them reduces fire resist, the other reduces slash resistance. You run this card on one of the two, and now you can build super high fire slash chains and destroy raids with this. It's going to be a very, very strong combo. And so if you don't have two-headed dragon, or a specific card for max damage up that you use no matter which raid you're going in, this will make your fire raids very, very strong, and just that could be a reason to go for it. Now, we did say fire units in your party will get 25% more HP, and then the unit wearing the card gets 10% attack. What does those numbers mean? Well, in terms of HP, it's actually very good. Like 25% extra HP is a lot. King Mont gets over 1,000. Elde gets almost 800, and then Rain gets 750. So overall, that's a lot of HP, but again, only for your fire units. So if you're not running other fire units, you don't benefit from it that much. The attack up, not that impressive, I think. Like this card was giving less attack than most vision cards, and the difference in 30-ish attack that you get here is basically putting this card back on par with other vision cards' attack for fire units. So you're not gaining an incredibly high amount of attack here, like we saw with the Near card, for example. So having looked at all that, what is my verdict? Well, it is great if you're going for the AoE resistance build, like I said. It is good for Fire Bruiser teams. So if you have a team where you want to run Rain, Raldor, King Mont, or Elde, Raldor, King Mont, or whatever, there are teams in which this card will be super strong. It's going to be perfect for fire raids or any kind of event where you need to build fire chains and hit for high damage. So right now that's mostly raids, but we might get some tough bosses in the future that would benefit from that. And then you get it for free. You will be able to get just about 75 shards in the bingo board. So you only need 200 shards for this card. And what that means is it's rather cheap to max. Getting 200 shards is, what, 10,000 viz? So it's not that big an investment to max it. But reasons why you might not want to go for it is it's fire exclusive, and not a lot of players have the fire characters to make use of that card fully. And if you're running it again on King Mont for him only, well, you're giving out on the ability to give an effect to the rest of your team, and I think party abilities from vision cards are pretty important in the game. So personally, if I had King Mont, if you've seen my builds video, none of my builds involved giving King Mont this card, because I feel like you're wasting a whole party ability, and I don't like it that much. It's one of the things that I like a little bit less about To Be, because she's kind of bound to her Near card if you want a great performance out of her. But in the case of a tank like King Mont, he doesn't need the extra performance that much, since his role is to enable your other party members. So I am not a big fan of it, honestly. Personally, I'm going to get the bingo board, and then I'm going to let that rest. And it's not time limited, so in the future, if there's a new unit stat released, or if for some reason I find the need for the card, well, I'll build it. But in the meantime, I do not want to invest any viz in that. We have had a very expensive couple of months, and we will have a very expensive couple of months for the next following weeks still. So it's an area where I choose to cut my spending, and I think I'll be very comfortable with that. So that was it. We kept this one rather short, just my thoughts on the card. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It will make it likely that you see my content in the future. And then as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.